Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's July 12th. Man, time is moving fast. It's your boy, Leaveittobeav, and these are the breaks.
And these are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
You know what it is.
What's going on? What's going on? I know it's been a minute. I know it's been some time. It's your boy, Leaveittobeav, and these are the breaks. Y'all, I missed y'all again. I know I'd be on hiatus marches, but hey, it's always good when I'm back in the hood, all right? Let's go ahead and jump into our NBA fast break. First things first, let's go ahead and start with some private workouts that's been taking place. John Wall is not out of the league, or he's not playing in Shanghai just yet. He's actually doing some private workouts for 5 NBA teams. And if you're thinking about it, i.e. Phoenix Suns is looking for a point guard, I think he might find a home there. So he's auditioning for 5 teams. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see if he makes the cut. I feel that John Wall should not necessarily be out the league, or even, you know, the Clippers kind of did him dirty in regards to that. But he didn't fit the system, so he's out. So we're going to see what happens with John Wall. But pin him in Phoenix, he's going to be electric, I guarantee it. Now, something that's on my mind that's kind of odd in regards to it. If you haven't heard, the NBA is doing this NBA playing tournament. It's still up for investigation. They're basically starting with a group play-in. It kind of reminds me of soccer, right? You know how soccer necessarily have the group play-ins, and then they necessarily have the teams advance from the group play-ins to the overall tournament itself. So this tournament will kind of take place during November, right around Thanksgiving time, right? November 3rd through the 28th, and of course they're not doing it on Election Day. They say randomly they kind of mixed everybody up. You know, the West teams has been mixed up, and the East teams has been mixed up into different groups. Now, what they would be doing is they're going to be playing 2 games, right? They're going to be playing a game at home and a game away, right? And then from there, they're going to have a knockout round in which they're going to have teams playing in the tournament. This is going to be taking place in Vegas, December 7th and the 9th, in which the tournament, you'll want to go ahead and win a tournament trophy. Now, word on the street is, right, you know, the rumblings has already started. This might be the Clippers' first championship. I'm just going to pause right there. If we win the tournament, right, I'm not going to run around in the street.
Woo-hoo!
I'm not going to celebrate. I'm not going to yell. I'm just going to take it as is. It's not an NBA championship. It's like a participation trophy. That's what I view this tournament as. The only people that's going to benefit from this tournament itself is going to be those players that's far down the bench that probably doesn't get to see the day of light when it comes to playing and things like that. If you want to make the tournament much interesting, right? I know people want to see the heavy hitters. I think teams should actually unload their benches and see what those bench players do within this tournament. That would make a tournament exciting, right? I'll see the 6-man. I'll see players I probably never even heard of on the bench getting to it and getting it right in that tournament. So that would be something I would like to see. Something we can also jump into is going to be Greg Popovich. He went ahead and signed a 5-year contract extension with the San Antonio Spurs, and we all know why he's staying for 5 more years, because he got to go ahead and coach Victor Wembanyama. Now, Victor, right, he got dunked on in the NBA Summer League. So what? He's going to get dunked on most of his career. He's over 7 feet. He has a target in his back. He's a number 1 draft pick. But game 2, he showed his ass, right?
Boom.
Almost averaging 18 points throughout the Summer League in 2 games. They went ahead and shut him down. We already seen enough. And I think also Britney Spears also went ahead and seen enough as well, right? But when it comes to George Pop, you know he's going to get his boys right. Now, the only thing with the Spurs that I necessarily fear is that they don't have the right pieces around Victor just yet, and they have to figure it out. Right, they got to figure it out and things like that. Because if they don't figure it out, I think it's going to be a lot of blonde wigs down there in San Antonio of hecklers dressing up as Britney Spears and not letting up on Victor as much as he can do. He can miss a layup, they're going to be on his head in regards to that. More NBA news. Dillon Brooks contract extension is almost, I would say, roughly close to $90 million with a few incentives attached to it. This guy, Dillon Brooks, he can't keep getting away with this. This mediocrity gets you $90 million. I don't know how. I don't know why. He's down there with a band of horny characters, right? If it's not the head coach, it's Jalen Green. If it's not Jalen Green, there's more people added to the list, right? So he's down there with a team bunch of hornies, and it's gonna be interesting how that party's gonna take place, right? We're gonna have to move the sex party from Boston on down to Houston. You know how they get wild in Houston. They get very, very wild and kinky. All right. Next thing up, Damian Lillard, right? They say he's this disgruntled superstar. Teams like the Clippers and other teams is trying to get him. I'm just gonna say it right now. Leave Dame alone. Let him find his way to the Heat. Period. Point blank. Don't nobody else trade. Don't nobody else jump in the conversation. Find your way to the Heat. Once he finds his way to the Heat, all will be okay. It is no other team need to be involved. If a player says he wants to go to a certain city, he needs to go to a certain city. And that's it. That's all. That's it. That's all she wrote, right? Now, let's jump into the NBA front office a little bit. The NBA went ahead and approved 2 new rules. There is a new rule in regards to flopping. Necessarily, if you flop and do all this theatrics, aka market smart, you necessarily will get hit with a kind of like a technical kind of sort of. It's not going to be something to get you kicked out the game or anything like that, but necessarily the team will shoot a free throw, and then necessarily will retain the ball. They can also do it after a play. So if you flop, they don't have to stop the running of the play. They'll still let the play out, and then they'll necessarily assess the flopping penalty after that score and things like that. They also went ahead, which is one of my favorite rules. It's just like the NFL, right? The NBA challenge, right? If a coach necessarily wins the challenge, they get rewarded a second challenge versus one and done. Because, buffoonery and all this bullshit happens again, they can challenge it again, which I view as the best damn thing the NBA has done. It should have been a no-brainer from the first go-around, but, they want to do test runs and all this bullshit, right? And lastly, in our NBA Fast Break segment, James Harden is not coming to the Clippers. Day 137, and Marcus Morris is still here. I want him gone. We could just package him up for a bag of Frito-Lays or something, but get him out of the Clippers organization. Now, Marcus Morris, you think I hate you? I really don't. I just want to package you up to go get James Harden. But now James Harden is kind of doing a 180, in which he said, he's going to come back. Pat Beverly jumped on the bandwagon and said, hey, the reason I signed with the 76ers is for James Harden and things like that. They feel that they're a few pieces away and things like that. James Harden, I'm going to be honest with you. You are a few pieces away. It's called a fat suit. I want you to put it on, zip it up real tight, and do the same escape that you did from Houston to Philly to L.A. We need you out here in L.A. I would love a whole L.A. cast of, Westbrook, James Harden, Kawhi if he's here, if his PTO hasn't ran out yet, and Paul George, Chatty Patty Paul George. It's a very brittle situation, but I feel that the Clippers can do their thing in regards to it, right? And one more last thing before we leave this NBA Fast Break. NBA Summer League. It has been some great talent in the Summer League. I actually want to give a shout out to the team right down Figueroa, right, that we all love and hate at the same time. It's going to be Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, go ahead and clap it up for yourself. It's actually a kid on the team that I actually really like, I really, really like, right? I feel like he has a career in the NBA. I feel like he's going to be a great either starting center for a team, or it could be, if the Lakers don't fucking blow it, this could be their future center. Colin Castleton, number 26 on the Summer League team. It took me less than 2 minutes to identify that this kid can play. He does his job, rebound, sets pick, does his thing in regards to it. Now, Do I view that he will be with the South Bay Lakers for some time? Hell yeah, he's going to be with the South Bay Lakers for some time. But I feel that he should get a call-up because my grading of him, right, and Laker fans, y'all can hate me in regards to this, he is a poor man Zubac, right? Y'all say y'all developed Zubac, you really didn't. You just traded him for some bag of chips that didn't work out. But if you develop him, he'll turn into a poor man Zubac. So you can stop crying at night and things like that and saying we took your jobs and all that good stuff. No, you got another young talent. Develop. Hey, this has been the breaks. When we come back, we got to go pay these bills. But there's some drama in the NFL. We're going to talk about it when we come back. Let's go ahead and pay these bills.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
Welcome back. It's your boy, Leaveittobeav. Now, before we left, I said we got some NFL breakdown news, and we do, right? We're just going to go ahead and jump into it. It's DB talk, right? If it's not the wide receivers talking, which is the prima donnas, it's the prima donnas on the defense, the defensive backs, right? Sauce Gardner versus everybody, right? I didn't even say it proper because I'm literally saying everybody, right? Sauce Gardner, Necessary jumped on Twitter, and you're probably thinking, what's going on with Sauce Gardner, right? It's a fire in the DB city, all right? Sauce Gardner versus Asante Samuel versus Revis Island, right? You're like, whoa, wait a minute, versus Darius Slay. Like it's getting ridiculous. So a list came out in regards to the top DBs in the league right now, and when you're looking at the list, you see Sauce Gardner as number 2. You have Darius Slay as number 3. You have Alexander from the Green Bay Packers as number 4. You have Jalen Ramsey, aka Mr. Zesty. I swear to you, when he's going to have a fucking breakout year, Zesty King, at number 3. Now, word on the street is, right, there's some rumble in the land. This is coming from Asante Samuel. He said, man, the New York media will take your career to another level. My God. He said it would take you to another level. He's basically saying Sauce Gardner ain't shit. That's basically what he's saying. And if you're looking at stat-wise, Sauce Gardner actually showed his ass all season long, right? He wouldn't have won an award if he didn't. Right, and as we go, right, Asante Samuel keeps going. He says, New York media, what they did to Revis, what did Revis do so special, right? Now, mind you, if anyone is familiar with, Darrell Revis, we all idolized him when we was growing up as Revis Island, right? Revis Island was a Hell in a Cell match, right? It was literally the same asylum that Joker was necessarily used to kicking in. That's what he used to do to those receivers, right? And for Asante Samuel to kind of just push that down and say Revis ain't shit is kind of wild, because he's just saying like, hey, the New York media kind of bumped up Darrell Revis. After that, he wasn't shit. you got to think, some corners, you can't be a corner forever, right? After a while, you can't hang with them young cats on that edge no more, which means now you got to move to safety, right? You playing basically the outfield. You kind of scoping and coming downhill and smacking shit. And it's kind of a huge beef in the DB room. They can't be friends, right? You see everybody else, linemen come together, defensive linemen come together. The DBs is literally having a chatty patchy slap match. And Sauce Gardner ain't letting up, right? He's literally on bumpers in regards to it. Now, I would like to see how this plays out in the season because Sauce Gardner, if you can hear me clear, they don't like you. Right? They don't like you at all. Right? They feel that, you know what I'm saying, the young kid in the league shouldn't be sitting where he's sitting. Make them pay for it, right? Make Revis Island look like it was basically a SpongeBob episode when SpongeBob and Patrick went to jail and they came out real quick, right? Make it seem like that. I want you to make this a Hell in a Cell match. I want you to make it so nasty you looking like Mick Foley when he used to wrestle, right? He used to have his beat the hell up. I want you to beat the hell up out of people when you out there playing in that DP position, right? But do your thing, Sauce. Don't worry about what all these other DBs are saying. I love Darius Slay, right? Darius Slay still does his thing. But, hey, in a minute, he's going to be kicking it in the outfield, too, in regards for coming from that safety news, all right? The next thing we're going to go ahead and jump into is breaking the rules. And you're probably thinking, like, what's going on, right? Threads versus Twitter. All right, if you're not familiar with Threads is a new pop-up that just took place. Now, I'm going to kind of give you a little backstory. What happened was Twitter, necessarily Elon Musk, he has his days when he wakes up and says, I'm going to fuck with the world today. And he basically put a cap on how many tweets you could view a day. It was about 600. All hell broke loose because, people have their phone attached to their hip. They probably don't even know what outside looks like. All hell broke loose. They try to find different apps to kind of migrate to, right? And they found a new one, which is Threads. Threads come from Facebook, right? Mark Zuckerberg, right? The owner of Instagram. My guy, it just keeps piling up, right? If you have logged into Threads, you will notice Threads kind of images or mimics Twitter. Literally, word for word, bar for bar, flow for flow. It's literally Twitter, right? In 5 days, Thread necessarily capitalized on 100 million followers, or necessarily 100 million people that signed up for it, up to Twitter, right? Twitter has about 5 million. And, it's rumble in the jungle that necessarily Threads is going to take over Twitter, right? You also had Spill as well, which is a black-owned company in regards to it, but Spill kind of lost their momentum when they say you couldn't get freaky on the timeline, which is understandable because we like the freaks, right? But Thread doesn't have DMs. I feel like you could get a little freaky on there too because people's kind of wild. But I'm going to tell you this right now, and hear me closely. Go ahead and put this camera on me, right? Twitter is not going to die. Twitter will not leave this earth. You want to know why Twitter not going to leave this earth? I don't care if Elon Musk is running the show, right? Twitter is the most raunchiest space for people like me. I love Twitter, right? My bookmark is probably the filthiest place on this earth. And I'm going to tell you this, right? It's probably a bunch of filthy people with a bunch of bookmarks out there. You can't get that entertainment on Threads. You can't get that entertainment with your auntie and your uncles on Facebook. Twitter gives me the news faster than the goddamn news give me the news. CNN, ESPN, all these news companies, go to Twitter to get the news. We've seen it in reports where some reporters report shit from false-ass Twitter accounts because it sounds good. Twitter's never going anywhere. But what I do want to see is two billionaires going at it. I want to see Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg have a fight. And, I think Zuckerberg is already training with MMA fighters and shit. I want to see this go down in space. Make my day. Make my day. But it's a rule breaker, right? If you've seen the movie in regards to Facebook, Mark is good for stealing shit. That's what he do. He steals shit. He steals shit and fire people. It's ridiculous, right? Hey, we gotta go pay some more bills when we come back. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, you better mind your business. Because if you don't, shit always happens. See y'all in a minute.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss, raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Hey, welcome back. It's your boy Leaveittobeav, and you already know what it is. These are the breaks. Now, before we jump into that Mind Your Business segment, I want to talk about some money being made, right? I want to talk about who's breaking the bank, and it's going to come from someone that you probably didn't think of, right? Athena, Kyrie, shoe deal, right? Now, this shoe deal is kind of lucrative, right? If you're not familiar with this company is a company in China. All right. And with this company in China, they're basically giving Kyrie creative leeway, right? It's giving them the ability to sign other athletes, giving them the ability to recruit other athletes. And that way they can also branch out in the United States. I view it as a lucrative deal for Kyrie because Kyrie's shoes was great with Nike, right? Of course, we already know what Kyrie did. We're not going to go down there again. We're not going to talk about Ja and all this bullshit, right? But I feel that Kyrie and his shoe deal is going to be a gateway for him to get back because I'm telling you right now, when it came to Nike, right? When it came to Nike, God rest his soul, right? Kobe Bryant's shoes was phenomenal. Outside of Kobe Bryant's shoes, you had Paul George shoes, which was also stunning. You also had KD shoes that was also stunning. And then here comes Kyrie with his shoes. And Kyrie's shoes was setting the blaze of glory in regards to that, right? You got Devin Booker shoes now. They look like fucking hospital shoes. They trash. John Morant shoes is pretty decent, but I'm just telling you, the staple of Nike was always Kobe, Paul George. I put KD's a little bit in there, and then Kyrie's shoes when it came to basketball shoes. Of course, Jordan reigns supreme, but those three with a hyphen or asterisk sign next to KD definitely showed their ass when it came to Nike shoes. So, Kyrie Irving, congratulations. It's good to see you back. I hope these shoes necessarily take off. If you can, you know what I'm saying, do what Kanye West did. Shit, take some of that design cradle tape, put them with that new company, and get the shoes up and running again. Because, again, Kyrie, even though it's not a check on there, we still going to fuck with you the long way. All right? Now, I know y'all been waiting. I've been waiting. I've been missing y'all, and this segment right here, this is going to be my breakout in regards to minding your business. All right. Now we all familiar with the Keke Palmer and Usher situation, right? In which Keke Palmer is a new mother, right? And Keke Palmer necessarily being a new mother, when you have kids, body changes and stuff like that. So Keke has been flaunting, right? Keke went to an Usher concert with a little sheer dress on, which you can see the buttocks. And Usher, what Usher does, he salivated, right? He did his thing, right? What Usher does. And all hell broke loose, right? Now, Keke baby daddy gets on Twitter instead of this is the shit that blows my mind, right? And we gonna go there, America. This is shit that blows my mind. He has her phone number. He has text message. He has a lot of things to contact Keke Palmer. But what he does, right, he does some sucker shit. He gets on social media and adds an account talking about she's a mother. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with humanity now that you have to always go to social media to tag some shit, right? If it's something you didn't like, right, all you had to do was contact her. You could have sent the text. She has to come wherever the baby's at. The baby's with you. She got to come home. It's not like she's running away from home. That could have been an argument that could have been conducted behind closed doors. But you made it my business, right? And this is where I say mind your business to the rest of America. After this Keke Palmer situation, here comes all these rhetoric theories in regards to, Keke Palmer makes the most money. She can do what she want, right? He ain't a nobody. He ain't shit. All this, and the third, right? I just want to tell you right now, America, mind your motherfucking business. It doesn't matter who makes the most money. It doesn't matter what the fuck is going on, right? I'm going to let you know right now. Half of y'all out there twittering is still lonely, right? You still have nobody, and you make the most money. It's you and probably Top Cat or Top Dog, whoever you have in your house, right? But what we're losing right now is recipes. We're losing respect. That's what we're really losing. It doesn't matter about who's making the most money because sometimes you're going to be with somebody that don't make the most money. But you have to have a framework of respect in your household to understand that, hey, I don't particularly like that dress, right? Now, fellas, you think I'm just going to not challenge y'all too? Fellas, listen to this. However you met that woman outside is how she gonna be inside. You can't expect to fall in love with somebody that you was in the club when she was half dressed. That's all of a sudden she's gonna turn into the fucking nun when y'all get together. It's not going to happen, right? You can't be scared of the outside world. Your girl getting snatched. You gotta keep it player at all times, right? If you met her in the club and she was half dressed, you could definitely say, hey, baby, that's not the setting for this. That's different, right? But to be super controlling and tell her she has to wear like head wraps and long scarves and stuff like that to cover it up, that's out. That's called controlling, manipulation, whatever you want to call it. That's out, right? So you know what we should all do as a unit? Mind our business. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if nobody said anything or nobody paid attention to a disgruntled baby daddy, which we run into all the time, or disgruntled baby mamas, which we run into all the time, it would have been a beautiful place. But what happened? All Keke did was turn this shit into a profit. She got crew neck shirts. She done busted out with a TikTok video and this, that, and the third, because she finna get money off of us taking a negative situation and pushing it out as a whole, right? Now, y'all probably learning what some things we can do in regards to doing this, right? A, stop worrying about celebrities and they bullshit. B, don't put everything on social media. C, see your way out of shit. Sometimes your opinion doesn't matter. Just be quiet. It's going to be okay. But if you don't be quiet, you're just going to be on Twitter tweeting about disgruntled shit. I see why Elon Musk did what he did. He did that 600 shit to get y'all outside, but that's for a whole nother conversation. Man, I'm going to tell you this. Hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in, rocking with me like y'all always do. I love y'all. My name is Leaveittobeav. You can follow me on Leaveittobeav31 on IG and on Twitter. You can also catch me on Sundays at 5:30 on We Don't Make the Rules podcast. I'm going to tell you right now, if you mind your business, you'll live longer. It's a lady that lived for like 110 years. You know what her secret was? Ain't paying attention what the fuck going on. Mind her business. Y'all stay good. Peace.